Alright, hello there YouTube. I'm gonna go over basically how to become a competitive player. Um, but one thing you might notice is I'm now playing 800 by 600. My really big problem with this is like, if you notice, look at the windows. Nothing's happening, and then I move, and it looks like they're kind of moving. You might tell me it's a reflection, but for instance, I don't know. We could probably find another example. The ice not moving. I move my crosshair and it looks like it's shimmering. Moving. Anyway, so let's go over like the first most important thing to become a competitive player. Like even more important than playing for a long time, your hardware, your computer. I'm sorry, but like if you don't have at least 100 FPS, you're not gonna become a competitive player. You can become competitive in the sense that you can be above average, but you aren't gonna like go ISF, AIC, do good in ESL. You're not gonna do anything at all competitive really that I know of. I don't think it's ever happened, and if even if it did, I don't know. I would just suggest getting a good computer. You can get a quad core computer, with like a GTX or um, that's NVIDIA, but you can also get AMD cards. Run the game on, see my FPS right now, I'm recording 180. You need like, I don't know, at least I would say 150 FPS to 200 solid. And the graphics don't really matter. I don't have my graphics really all the way up, but kinda up. You need to have anti-isotropic and anti-aliasing filters to times 16, make the game look a lot better. So that's the most important thing, getting good FPS. Second most important thing, you have to be from Europe, North America, Korea, Japan, China, Taiwan, you know what I mean? Like if you're from like Brazil, you don't have a server, you're not going to any tournaments, you can't even enter ESL, there's no hope for you being competitive. That's the end of the line for that. So yeah, not much you can do about that. So, say you have all that, then what's the next most important thing? You need to play. So, all FPS players, like a good Call of Duty player, great CSS player, say like from SK, they're good FPS games. They could come here and be better than, somebody who's been playing this game for 6 months their first day. Just because once you know an FPS game, you know it, right? Well, the thing is, a decent player here, might be able to play like that just because they know the maps. Knowing the maps is super important. So there's two things that are going on there. So two really important things is knowing FPS games in general. That is, how to aim, like peeking, like you can peek like this. You can peek, I don't know, you can peek like this. Game sense, calling the grenades, when to peek, watching your doors. Like, if I do this grenade, I'm not sure much game sense can open that door. Instead, I'd rather do it from here where I'm not open to this door. That kind of thing. That's the general FPS skills. That's something that players never play this game can bring into this game and immediately be better than the average player. Now, things that, you might be able to beat great CS players on AVA on is knowing the maps, right? Like, little map tricks, grenade spots, opening the doors, things like that. Knowing where the enemy team's going to rush, just having played for a while. That's experience. Now, not all experience is equal, we all start off in the beginner channel, of course. You go back to the main channel, you learn some stuff. But where you're really going to get competitive is match channel, clan wars, scrims, PvP2, whatever. So what I would suggest doing is, if you just up to this game, just pick it up. Play in the beginner channel for like, a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever. Maybe on 1 or 2 accounts. Then you want to go to the public channel, play in that for a week. And then you want to do clan wars from there on. Always clan war every day. Don't waste your time doing, public channel, regular match channel games. You want to do match channel games with your friend's clan if your clan's on. You want to do match channel games with your clan. You want to have clan matches. You don't want to just log on a match channel and just be like, okay, I'm just going to play with some random players against other random players. That's sort of like a pub. You want to have actual scrims with your clan wars, of course. That's the way you're going to get the best experience. You're playing with better players who are organized as a team, who are all communicating through mics. Which brings me to my next point. The next most important thing after hardware and general FPS skills and experience is headset. Now, there's two good benefits to headset, of course. Is the footsteps. You can hear footsteps. I can hear like base to base, whatever. You can hear where they are. You can hear when they're reloading. It helps you. Now, getting a good headset doesn't mean you're gonna be good right away. You know what I mean? Like, even if somebody picked up my headset that doesn't play VA, they wouldn't be able to hear footsteps because they're not used to understanding what the sound is. You have to play the game for a while to pick that up. Like, you might not know this is the metal sound. Yeah. And the second biggest part, a little bit more important probably, is the microphone. If you're able to communicate with people online, get in a clan, that's where you're going to find a good clan. This brings me to the next point, basically, is joining a good clan. You don't want to join some friend's clan that, you know, half the people don't use mics, you know, they don't clan war, they do public games. You're not going to get anywhere like that. You need to find a clan of players, everybody has a mic, everybody has a headset, and everybody's, you know, active. Once you get that, you know, you experience scrimming with them, playing clan wars. They have to be the kind of players that don't rage a lot, you know what I mean? Like, I used to rage a lot, it doesn't help. Basically, you want to find a clan of players that aren't, oh my gosh, you know, QQing every game. They want to be like the kind of players that are like, alright, what did we do wrong there? How did we lose this game? Let's go over it, man. You know, you're going to get frustrated, any good team. Like, even a team that doesn't rage a lot, you'll have the whole, why didn't you cover me? Oh my gosh, it's BRX, man. You're going to have that a little bit. But you don't want to have a team that constantly does that. And what's even worse than that is you never want to get a team where they're like, oh, we lost, and then some guy's like, alright, I'm going to go play, you know, APB, or I'm going to go play LOL because we lost and this game's BS, blah, blah. If they literally rage quit the game, and it's not like a one-time thing like they do it a lot, that's not the kind of people you want to hang around, you know? Most important thing in EVA, to being competitive, like Emonk said, I saw online the other day, it's an old article I just looked the other day though, he said the most important thing is not to rage and to use guns like M4 and AK. That was back when those guns were good. Nowadays, you want to use guns like Para, XM8, M4, MK3, FRF2, TPG, ASW. Those are probably the most competitive guns. I think AMD's upcoming, pretty good. Pointman, you know, you got the few Pointman like Versic, Veresk, MP7, AKS maybe, those kind of guns. But yeah, so this video I'm not gonna go over like, you know, hey, here's how GameSense works. You know, here's how to aim. There's too much detail to go into. All I'm going to tell you is these are what you have to know. You got to look these things up on YouTube videos. Maybe it's things I have on my other channel, CYNI Savvy. So on youtube.com/CYN capital I Savvy, which is SAVVY. Yeah, I have some AVA tip videos there. You might be able to find them, you know, social things, but that's what you want to do. So basically, you know, you have to get over 100 FPS. You have to know the maps. You have to know how to aim. General game sense things that aren't just for AVA. General FPS things. Gotta have a headset. Gotta join a good clan. Not rage. Use a good gun. And then from there, like, you want to just spend time learning things that nobody knows. You want to find your own unique things. I know grenade spots. I made up grenade spots. I mean, I spent so much time shooting walls and maps like this. You know, throwing grenades. Grenade nobody will know. I mean, it might not be the usefulest nade, but like if I didn't,
Fire in the hole!
a little bit off.
Fire in the hole!
This roof is different from the regular black roof. Pretty bad example, but this is a grenade spot. It's just not working because this roof is different from the regular black scent, the snow one, and. Yeah. I'll just try it until I get it. Since I brought it up, you know, I don't like it. Never mind. So basically, nobody would have ever known this spot. Hits the scamper here, maybe the scamper here. And I mean, it took me a long time to get it, but it's just because of the snow map, trust me. But I mean, things like this. You want to learn unique things about the game that only you think of, or you want to know every little detail about the map. I love finding things like, you know, oh, you can shoot through this, and then that's, yeah, you can shoot through this, and it goes through, goes to right here, through the wall, yeah, things like this. This is the kind of thing you want to learn. It's things that nobody knows, can be useful maybe, who knows, but you just want to know every little thing you can about the game. So yeah. Once you got all that, you got in a decent clan, whatever. Some ways you can practice to get better. Like I said, look up YouTube videos, look up wall spot videos. You know, you want to have a friend come in and try to throw a grenade. Like, hey, I want to nade backstairs. I'll stand here and chuck a nade. You tell me where it goes. You want to get the perfect nades. You want to time it all. Maybe, you know, hey, I'll spawn at 2 minutes, you spawn at 2 minutes, then we rush up, I'll throw the nade, we'll see if it hits you early enough or if you get past it. Time all those things, you know what I mean? Other than that, to practice aiming, you want to do like Canon AI. Nega's like, oh, they don't shoot back, which is true, but you want to build reflex in that. Like Canon AI, what you want to do is like you want to walk around and just boom, boom. You want to practice your instinct as soon as you see them, bam, one ding, bam, one ding. Some other things you can do to practice your aim is 1v1ing against a good player. Just run around and like, you know, if you're a sniper, you can run around in a regular cold case or annihilation and just run around and rush at them. Instead of like a normal scope and demolition, you know, they kind of like play back and try to get the angle. Well, if you force yourself to rush in with the scope and like bam, or quick scope, like you're gonna go into an annihilation game and you're gonna be like running up and just practicing your quick scopes and your, you know, everything, your break shots, things like that. That's the way you can get better as a scope. For rifle, it's kind of the same deal. You just practice all your headshots, running around, getting as fast as you can. Yeah. Tapping, you just gotta tap as fast as possible. Once you're able to tap, you know, really, really fast, you'll be able to do it like this. I mean, it's not that hard at all. You just gotta, and some people try to like slow down their tapping. Well, I think what I say is just tap as fast as you can. No. Do the best you can, and like the fastest tapping, what would be the best? Fastest tapping, people say, if I tap fast, I lose control of the recoil. But I'm like, if you could tap as fast as possible and control the recoil, would be the best, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so tap as fast as possible, and you'll get used to the recoil. It works, trust me. And so yeah, you just want to find out all those little things, practice your aim in cold case and stuff like that. Another good thing you can do, like I said, have alts in a friends clan. You know, clans where you're like, hey, I have another main account, but, you know, hey, when my clan's not on, can I come on and clan with you guys? And if they're like, sure, then hey, then you got a clan. But if they're like, oh, we don't accept alts, then I wouldn't push it too much, you know. Don't hide the fact that you have an alt. I used to do that to got people in it. But, yeah, I don't do that anymore. I just tell them, hey, I have another account. Can I join your clan though? And they're like, yeah, okay. Or no. That's it. You want to hang around with good players. On your ult, it doesn't so much matter if they're good. In fact, it's probably better to be in a backline on your ult. Because if you play with people that are below your skill level and you have to carry them, which means you have to, you know, get a lot of frags. It's a good way to practice your aim and practice, you know, performing. You're not gonna want to play against really great clans when you're in your ults that are in back clans. But if you're not in a back clan, you can learn to carry. You can play a decent team. Whereas you normally might have went like, you know, 13-8 against a main competitive player. When you're in an alt and backline, you're forced to go like, you know, more like 20-5. You're forced to go that extra mile, and that can help a lot. You know, you can try out things like wall bangs and stuff that you just found out that you don't want to try out in an actual scrim with your clan. You want to try out in a back clan or something. You can do that in your alt. And yeah. You just want to find out every little thing you can about the game, basically. You want to watch, you know, maybe you can watch competitive Counter-Strike videos, competitive Quake videos. Just figure out, you know, the top players of that game, what do they do that's different from the other guys in their game? They, a lot of them, like Karn, Life of Karn, they go over, you know, certain things about the game, and they talk about their experience, and that can help you even with AV, even though it's about a totally different game. And that's pretty much all I got to say about becoming a competitive player. I mean, it just comes down to how much are you willing to look up videos and stuff rather than, you know, just running around playing knife. Well, let me talk about one more thing. I was talking about how to become a competitive player. Let's talk about how to not become a competitive player. If you waste your time in sniper, no semi. If you waste your time in knife only, waste your time, you know, trolling, ninja diffusing too much, you're gonna waste time. Now, I upload ninja videos to YouTube, right? That's when I get really bored. Nobody's on. My clan's not on. My alt clan's not on. I've been clan warring for like 4 hours for the day. If I've already done that, I take an hour off, go ninja diffuse once or twice, make a video, boom. That's okay. Taking a break, you know. But you don't want to log on, say Saturday, and just try to troll all day on AVA. You're so troll. That's a waste of a whole day. Now, if it's like an hour a day, just taking a break from clan warring or something, of course, you know, you need to take a break sometime. Plus, trolling spots can be useful, you know. You might think, oh, this spot, you know, so great for ninja diffusing right here. Crash right here, they won't see you. Well, if it's a good spot and people honestly don't see you, then you can use it in regular scrims. See, they walk by, boom, then you get a 4K, you know, 2K, whatever. Troll trolling spots and ninja spots, if they can't see you, if you can ninja on somebody, it means it's a good spot because they can't see you, right? Why not bring that into real scrims? So, I mean, even that trolling can be used for a purpose. What I don't consider even fun is just running around and saying, oh, I'm trolling, and running at an enemy and letting them kill you on purpose. That's a waste of time. That's just wasting time overall. That's not funny. It's not trolling. You're not going to learn any kind of spot you can use in real scrims. All you're learning from that is how to be dumb, you know? Something that's slightly deceptive too is like trainer post guides on the forums that seem interesting. They're like, oh, if you know EO9 blocks so much damage, AO7 blocks so much damage, you know, yeah, like exact stats. You know, PAR does this much damage at this range, this much damage at that range. Seems interesting. Practical use, almost nothing, to be honest. I would find it more interesting if he looked up something like, you know, what are all the walls you can shoot in every map, like every single wall. But stuff he does to me isn't really useful at all because, okay, that's nice to know, but it doesn't help me. You know what I mean? Like, knowing which armor tanks the most will probably be a little bit helpful. You know, like EO8 tanks more than EO9. Okay, well then I'll try to get EO8 from the capsule shop. But for the most part, that kind of information is useless. You know what I mean? What you should know from experience, PAR takes, you know, 3 kills, 4 hits to kill. You should know, you know, what armors are the best, what armor does what from experience. For example, you don't want to use the knee pads or whatever because they mess up your aim. The EO9 ones are terrible. Now the EO9 gloves are good for quick switching and aiming, but of course, you know, the EO9 pads, like I said, mess up your aim. So you don't want to use those. Personally, I think AO7's worse than large caliber, damage-wise, because large caliber takes more damage, but it takes less hits. So AO7 will take 8 hits, but it'll only take like, you know, 10% damage. Maybe these are not exact stats, but I'm just saying. Whereas large caliber might take 25% damage from like 3 or 4 shots. So versus PAR, which is armor anyway, or TPG, it's probably better where large caliber. So yeah, like I said, all those things, how not to become a competitive player, keep those in mind, try to avoid those, try to do everything you can to become a competitive player. If you really can't afford a good PC right now, all I can say is, you know, try to do everything you can. Maybe instead of playing over summer, maybe take a week off to get a temporary job, you know, go to work with your dad's friend, whatever, get some dough, you know, buy a graphics card and a processor for like, you know, $500 to $400, and boom, you got 200 FPS. If you don't have, you know, 150 FPS, 100 FPS, you're just not gonna be able to play at any level. Period. Doesn't matter what resolution you play on, really. I mean, some people tell you like I'm on 800x600, it's better. It is for the recoil, but sniping is easier on larger resolutions. So I mean, it just depends on what you're doing. You know, 1920 by 1080 is great for sniping. So yeah, that's everything. If you have any questions, you can comment below, or if you want to see more guides, you can ask me. But for the most part, like I said, you can Google, you can YouTube, you can do all kinds of things. I went to the extent of looking up Japanese words for grenade, to look up grenade spot threads, looking up Japanese clan wars, watching hours and hours of CSS. I know whole CSS maps, the whole layouts of maps, as well as I do Blackstone almost, just from watching CSS videos, even though I've never really played CSS other than maybe, you know, 3-4 hours of regular CSS. And yet I know the maps that I've never even played on. That's how much I went into depth studying FPS in general. And that's, you know, not what you should do exactly, but that's something I'm saying, that's the extent you should study what you're doing. And so yeah, that's how to become a competitive player. If you do this, you will eventually reach your goal of becoming at least, you know, a good player, better than an average player. You can watch international games, drop 20 bombs, you can do things like that. And that's all. See you later.